Follow the money.
That's what I always say. You always follow the money.
Yeah.
This is Follow the Money with Mitch Moss and Pauly Howard on VSiN.
Welcome in. Thanks for watching today on YouTube TV, listening on Sirius XM Channel 158, TuneIn Radio, iHeartRadio, or any of our great affiliates across the country. In this hour, we'll update you, of course, with the live betting numbers in the ALCS going on right now. Game 2, tie game, Mariners and Blue Jays. And we'll get into the Monday Night Football doubleheader as well. We'll start the hour with the back end of the doubleheader tonight, talking Bears and Commanders as legendary Chicago broadcaster Mike North joins the program now on the Progressive Guest Line. Good to talk to you again, pal. How are you?
Good, Mitch. Good, Pauly. Good to talk to you guys. Getting ready for a big ball game tonight, a pivotal one for the Bears, if you want to know the truth.
Yeah, well, no doubt about that. Off the bye, and I'll ask you about that with Ben Johnson in a second, but what are your early impressions here of the first-year head coach?
We won a game we usually lose against the Raiders. I mean, Genty ran for 138 yards. He's averaging about 75 a game. I thought that Carroll basically screwed up the second half because he kept rushing 4 guys. It's good in the first half, but then Crosby and those guys started getting worn down, gave Caleb, who holds the ball still a little bit too long, gave him a little bit more time, got him in position. We got a couple touchdowns, 4 field goals. We got a block. Otherwise, I mean, I heard a host say, they really are buying into Ben Johnson. Well, if they don't block that field goal and we lose, it's 1-3, and it's the same type of situation. But we usually lose those games, and we won that game. We're 2-2. I had us at 2-2 anyway. We blew the Minnesota game.
Yeah.
But we shouldn't have won the Raider game, in my opinion. So it's about right. It's a National Football League, but the Bears won a game they usually lose against the Raiders, and that was coaching. I mean, sometimes, you coach your guys up, the special teams, and it happened for us, and we got lucky. Now we've had 2 weeks to get ready, and we got a matchup tonight that's either going to take the monkey off of Caleb Williams back, or it's going to make things worse, depending on how things go at the quarterback position between him and Jaden Daniels.
Yes, excellent point. So I'm with you that it's a pivotal game. So how important is it that they can finally beat a good team, and then you see 3 of the next 4 on the road? Because if they win this, they're in business. Because you got the Saints coming up and then a demoralized Baltimore team. They can put something together here.
Yeah, and they believe more in Ben Johnson than they have in the past. There's no doubt about it. It's still painful to watch our quarterbacks. I saw today where Caleb Williams is ranked 23rd in the league by some people, where Justin Fields is ranked 30, last in the league after his atrocious game. Both quarterbacks, former Bear. One's a former Bear, the other one a current Bear. If he gets rid of the ball a little quicker, throws the ball short, that's fine. The thing I'm worried about is the run defense.
Yeah.
Is Caleb Williams going to be able to handle what Washington's going to throw at you? I buy the situation, what Mitch said. He's got a bye, so he's got a couple of weeks. He had a week to prepare, an extra week to prepare, but he doesn't have the Detroit Lion team. The thing I like is Caleb Williams finally had a coming-out game, 4 touchdowns against Dallas. But they were worse than I thought they were. And then I saw him lose to Carolina yesterday. So it's a huge game for them. Also, the talk in Chicago is Ryan Poles never interviewed the other quarterbacks. And my contention has been, if you put all the quarterbacks in a hat and you threw them in, and each team that had a quarterback in that class would pick it out. If the Bears picked out Drake May, they'd be happy with it. If they picked out Penix, they'd be happy with it. Caleb Williams has not turned out to be the generational quarterback everybody thought. We think that the other quarterback should have been interviewed, but Ryan Poles decided this is the guy he wants to go with. So tonight's a huge game for Poles. If Daniels goes off, okay, and the conditions aren't supposed to be ideal, and, Bear fans are happy about that, but I don't know if you should be happy with our run defense. I think it's going to come down to, can we stop the Washington Commander run? And if we can, it's going to be a long night.
Great point. I mean, imagine you have to hear that every single week, that this guy took you to the NFC title game, and it's while we drafted the wrong quarterback.
Well, yeah, and I give the argument, would New England, if they picked out of the hat and got Caleb Williams, be happy over the guy they have now? If the Bears, I think that Ben Johnson could coach any one of these quarterbacks, okay?
Yeah.
So he took the job. He said he specifically took it because Caleb Williams was young and he's a young quarterback. Well, that's the case with the other 4. He took that job because he got offered $13 million. And he's the 7th or 8th highest coach in the league without ever being a head coach before in the pros. So there was a 2-pronged thing. It's a challenge. He left the Lions before they accomplished their ultimate goal, but he couldn't stay there being offered that kind of money. He makes more money than John Harbaugh. He makes more money than Sirianni. He makes more money than a lot of successful playoff coaches who have been to Super Bowls. So he couldn't turn it down. It was life-changing money. So far, we're happy with him. Let's see what happens tonight, because if they win, like you said, Pauly, it's going to be like, wow, okay, maybe we got something. If they lose, and they lose in a bad fashion, then it's going to be, oh boy, they finally played somebody good and they couldn't get it done.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, Mike, let me run this by you. We're talking to Mike North here, legendary Chicago broadcaster on the Progressive Guest Line, about tonight's second game, Monday Night Football doubleheader, as the Bears are on the road taking on Washington. But this, in 3 years as the OC of the Lions, Ben Johnson's teams had the first touchdown in 36 out of 55 games, including the first touchdown in 2023 and 2024 after a bye week. And so that tells me, coming off this bye, yes, they have been horrendous, like stopping the run and on defense in general, but they've had a whole extra week to get ready for that, right? With this Commanders offense. Right. Is there an angle here where we can trust Johnson in the first quarter, and maybe we bet the Bears early? Maybe we bet them to score in the first quarter, or a team total over, or you can take plus 1.5 points right now. Is there something like that we can bet on tonight?
Absolutely, Mitch. I like the first quarter angle because there are other games they've gotten off to good starts. In fact, the first 15 plays by Ben Johnson are scripted, and he's really good at that. They've gone awry once they get past those 15 games. Not necessarily his fault. It's just the situation. Plus, the Bears don't have a running game. I mean, if you had a guy like, for instance, Scatterbo, somebody like that would help Caleb Williams sell the play-action pass, okay, then you can keep the dogs off them. But they don't have anybody like that. They got Swift and some other runners that are just average to below average. So when you're faking the handoff to the running back and going back to pass, they're not really stopping because there's not a running back like Bijan Robinson or one of the studs back there. So that's a detriment against them. Their offensive line, we're going to be playing a different left tackle tonight, so we'll see how that goes. It's still a young football team. There's still players from this team now that were on the team the last couple of years that are poison, in my opinion, that were part of the problem. Back in the day, Ditka would clean out the lockers and they'd be gone in a year. There's still some guys there. I still don't think it's a football team ready to go. But once again, there seems to be more order on the sidelines. And what a pleasure it's been for a lifelong Bear fan to actually see the head coach, looking at the plays and calling the plays himself, because we come from a land where we've always had offensive coordinators, and for the most part, they were clueless. Ben Johnson, it's his baby. He calls the play, and we trust him when he does that.
Very good. So overall, how would you bet the full game then tonight? Like, you're in the Friday Football Invitational here. Did you bet this game? I forgot to look.
Yeah, no, I bet in another media pool, though, and I took the Commanders when they were -4.5, only because I kept hearing that Washington is overvalued. Well, maybe the Bears are overvalued, too. I mean, who have they beaten? They beat a bad Dallas team that lost to Carolina yesterday.
Yeah.
Yep.
They beat the Raiders that they shouldn't have won. They blew the Minnesota game. 5.5, to me, or 4.5 when I bet it, seems like a lot. But if they can't stop the run, it's going to come down to Washington's run game against the Bears defense, because if they can't stop the run, Daniels is going to go off. That's just my opinion.
Totally agree. Great to talk to you, my friend. Enjoy the game. We'll catch up soon.
God bless you guys. You take care, and it's good to talk to you guys.
You got it.
Thanks, Mike.
I'm sure he's ready for the Bulls next week as well. This is a big opportunity, though. He's right. Pivotal game. Can you beat someone good? And then if they lose and it's by margin, it's again, we took the wrong quarterback. Can you imagine if we had Daniels? Oh, man, what's wrong? Because then it's Saints, Ravens, Bengals, Giants, Vikings coming up. These are all winnable games coming up here.
Is that Giants game at home?
But the Giants game's at home. At Minnesota, Steelers at home. A lot of winnable games. And if you can get to 4-2, but I'm with you and him with the first quarter angle. That's strong.
Yeah, there's got to be something there.
Right down the field to start.
Sure.
But again, it's you're going to get gashed on the ground again. And if Bill goes off and if Daniels goes off on the ground, forget about it. Then they're going to go up and down the field if the weather cooperates too.
Yeah, sometimes there's just nothing a team can do for an entire season. Like, my guess is that the Miami Dolphins, who they are the worst team in the league at stopping the run, that's going to be an issue the entire year. Like,
Right.
They just don't have the personnel.
Yeah.
The coaching staff is not the right staff. They're not very good there either. The Bears probably don't have the personnel to stop the ground game for opposing teams pretty much the entire year. Maybe tonight's the one spot where they can, because they had the extra week to really prep for it, and they have a couple of guys back on defense
Right.
too.
It's big. What's it going to look like? Continue to coach them up. Get organized. Run the play that's sent in. Don't ad lib.
Right.
No more running to the right every other play and then just throwing it away or chucking it, Want to see scripted stuff look good, just like you do when they start the opening drive and it continues. I also think Burden can go off and have a big play or two. He's plus money to have 25 yards.
I was going to say, well, he was 18.5 earlier today.
Yeah.
Adunze looks like he's the best receiver on the team.
Yeah.
I mean, he looks like he's going to turn.
guy-
He was so good at Washington with Penix. And now the year 2 bump that we're getting out of that guy is just, it's been awesome. Up next, we will update you on Game 2 of the ALCS and dive into Game 1 of the NLCS between the Dodgers and the Brewers. Pauly has a bet on that game. He'll tell you about it next here on VSiN.
This is Follow the Money on VSiN.
We are now in the 4th inning, Game 2 of the ALCS. After the Mariners got the Blue Jays last night in Game 1, low-scoring affair there. They got out to a quick lead early today as Savage walked the first 2 batters. By the way, the leadoff batter, Rosarino, was walking back to the dugout knowing that he struck out, and the umpire had a bad call. He walked him, then a 3-run shot from Julio Rodriguez. There appeared to be another strike. Right now, live action. That was a ball. And, yep, they're not happy about it at all. But it's 3 apiece right now. Gilbert is 58 pitches deep for the Mariners through 3. And Savage right now is sitting at 62 pitches through 3 1/3 innings. And I have him over 5.5 Ks. I need 2 more in this game after that rough start. But he has since settled down here a little bit. I also, live on the air, I grabbed the Blue Jays at plus 158 to come back and win this game in the first inning when they were trailing 3-1 with a runner on. Now, updated number here, Blue Jays minus 128, total 10.5. Anything here? Live, or did you bet anything pre?
I actually took a little Toronto to win the World Series before the game.
No, you mentioned that earlier, that
Bet
you were
that.
thinking about it.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. I had to do that. I think there's an opportunity here with how Seattle's bats have been silent. They're now getting Bassett back. Woo's on the roster, but I don't know what the game plan is when Woo can go. But with the 2-3 format, maybe the Jays move on to the World Series. The night game, also a great series. Again, there's a lot of angles here and a lot of stuff going on. We should be guaranteed a great World Series. Number 1, can a team repeat? Hasn't happened in 24 years. The champ hasn't made it back since the Phillies in 09. The Dodgers tax on the payroll is more than the Brewers payroll, to put that in perspective.
Wow.
With all the money they spent. So the no respect and ordinary guys and what Murphy said after the game, it's an incredible story. Dodgers as high as minus 220 to win the series. 0-6 regular season against Milwaukee. I played Snell over 3.5 hits allowed. Milwaukee, number 1 in the league in average against lefties. They can hit. I trust these guys in their lineup. But how many runs do they get off the guy? And the strikeouts, he's been so good. Last 5, he's 4-0 with a 0.84 ERA and a 46-10 walk-to-strikeout ratio. But do the Dodgers just get theirs offensively and they put the baby to bed early? Because you're going with Ashby and then Quintana, maybe Priester, how he's going to go. Who's going to get the bulk? Quintana, Priester, how he's going to play it. Freddie's going to go tomorrow against Yamamoto. But the other question is Milwaukee bullpen's been so good with what they've done When you just got out of the first inning against the Cubs, can you imagine that cashed in every game of that series? But once you got out of the first inning, you were great, and your bullpen was awesome. But you're going against a whole different animal here with these guys. But on the flip side is the struggles that they have. Now, Mookie's been hot. He's playing well. You got to worry about Freeman. But Ohtani's been an automatic out. 1 for 18 with 9 strikeouts since the 2 home run game against the Reds. 2 for 22. And Will Smith is 2 for 13. And Paez is in the lineup. I can't believe he's playing him. He's 1 for 24 in the playoffs.
Ohtani is plus 150 in that neighborhood to win the NLCS MVP.
Outrageous. How can that be? He's only going to start likely one game.
Maybe one game, yeah.
Yeah, they're going to push him back.
Well, if he turns it around, I mean, first of all, they don't want to take any big bets on him. They don't want to offer anything like a 5-1 because people would pound that, and if he gets hot, then they're going to be screwed. That's my guess.
Let him bet 4-1. Let him bet 3-1. He's only going to start one time, and he's been an automatic out. He's got to prove it. He's got to show it here. And
can I give you a couple of other numbers, by the way?
Yeah.
Sasaki is 60-1.
Okay. 5 2/3, 1 hit so far.
There's an angle where he can get in how many games? 3 games?
No, more than that.
Well, but if they use him more than if they use him 2 innings every time, I don't think they'll go to 4 games at that point.
What are you looking for? 2, 3 innings?
What if he has 3
2 innings 4 times?
Or if he has 3 multi-inning saves? Or shuts the door?
Doesn't give up a hit, Mitch.
No, I know. And he goes 2 innings in 3 different games, and he's awesome. Mizorowski's 150-1. But I have no idea.
They don't either.
What the game plan is. Exactly right.
No, that's the problem. They don't know what they're doing either.
So I would not bet him at 150-1 because Kiki Hernandez is 150-1. I'm telling you, he's
an October player.
There's going to be an unsung hero here. It might be him.
Yeah, it's good.
Tommy Edman is 80-1.
Yeah,
I'm intrigued.
Yeah, he won't be available for a couple of days, I imagine, because he threw almost 50 pitches in the Game 5 win. Well, Miz. So I imagine Game 3 you could do something with him as well. But here it is again, right? You grabbed 7-1 before the playoffs started. They don't have home field. They're 0-6 against them. They're minus 220 to win the series because here comes Snell, Yamamoto, probably Ohtani, and then Glasnow.
Well, again, part of the reason why I grabbed it is because once it bumped up to 7-1, I quickly live on that on the show that day on the air. I ran a 4-team rollover parlay, and I was being super generous with projected Dodgers series prices that I came up with, and I came up to plus 635 for the best imaginable number. I'm like, plus it's the Dodgers here. And I remember saying, aren't we going to regret it fast forward to the end of October not having Dodgers in pocket at this price? What would you need to take the Brewers? They swept them. They were the best team in the regular season. They have home field, and you can get 2-1 on them.
No respect. Yep.
If you wanted to play the Blue Jays like you did, you could also look at exactas here, Pauly.
Yeah, but the thing that you could contain this offense was what the Phillies had with the lefties. And they did an excellent job. But they don't have a Sanchez and a Luzardo and a Suarez. So
they do not.
That's the big thing, too. And
you know who they're going to miss this series? Well, Woodruff.
Yeah, I know. That's big. That injury's big, too.
Yeah, it is.
Right. Snell's K-prop, 6.5 over minus 140. I like it. Here at Cirque, I think he's 6-1, 5-1 to have 10-plus strikeouts. Good price. And Ashby's 1.5.
Do you like this, by the way?
So see how they play. What's that?
They're going to go with Ashby again?
No, I think it's ridiculous.
I don't get the move.
I would start Quintana or Priester.
Yep, same here.
And I'd definitely Priester at home because the lights were too bright and the stage was too big in Wrigley. Growing up a Cubs fan and the nerves got to him and he had nothing. But you think the guy would be locked and loaded and ready to go because he couldn't even get through 2 innings. Or did he get 2 outs? He got 2 outs in that game, I think, when he was out there. So I would have just started Priester because the guy was so good for you on a regular season.
Yeah. By the way, because Gilbert went on Friday night in that 15-inning affair, he's been yanked already. 3 innings, 58 pitches. Out of the game. They brought in Bizzardo. Savage for the Blue Jays is at 69 pitches. I don't think he's going to have much time left. I think I need 2. If they bring him back out for the 5th, I'm going to need 2 strikeouts out of him to go over that K-prop the way it looks. Because in a 3-3 game, the Blue Jays pretty much have to have this one. That's got to be the thought process anyway here.
Yes.
Did you see what the Gilbert outs prop was?
14.5.
Yeah, not even close.
Mm-hmm.
way under that.
Trey was 13.5. Snell is 17.5, under minus 150.
Well, he just needs to, and even like in the last game, he walked 4 guys, but what did he allow? 1 hit, struck out 9?
Yeah.
So he can do one or the other.
Great. Yeah.
He can walk 5, but he can't allow like a damn hit. Or he can allow like 5 hits, but don't walk 5. Because if he's going to walk 4 or 5 and he allows it, he's way gone by like the 4th inning.
How many people do you know with Brewers tickets? And what did they get back to you on what they're going to do? Mike Sanderson, our buddy, he's got a huge ticket on Milwaukee. Mike Paul, Milwaukee.
Yeah.
Rich in Canada's got, but
Rich was asking what the best option is there for him.
He's got the 400-1 exacta. Yeah.
That is exactly right, yeah. Yep.
But on the National League futures, that's why this is so wild. Again, the Brewers and Blue Jays opened 50-1 to win the World Series. Seattle opened 25-1. They're definitely in business, and you can maneuver here.
Well, if Mike Palm has 35-1 Brewers to win the NL in pocket, he can lay $2 with the Dodgers then.
Yep.
That's no problem.
And then Mike Sanderson was in the blackjack tournament here. He took them 4th, I believe. Great pick before the winning streak and everything. And a gentleman also had the Dodgers 2nd. He was asking a question. To me, that's easy. Just come here and bet the no.
Yeah.
He took the Dodgers with the 2nd pick for $15,000. Tip jars open tomorrow. It's Tuesdays now during the football season. Let's see them. There's been chaos in college football. Bye-bye Penn State tickets. But with the Brewers and Blue Jays still alive, Seattle was popular as well. Send those in. Let's see what you have. And all the Jackson Dart's the favorite now. Offensive Rookie of the Year. Cam is coming down as well. Send them in. FTM@vsin.com. Tweet at us as well. Tip jar. Mitch and Pauly's Pizzeria tomorrow, sponsored by Mama's Pizza.
This will tell you how impacted I was by the Mbuka injury. I have Jackson Dart. Told you about that. Now's the time to bet him. Weeks ago. Bet him 25-1. I have a healthy bet on him. I am going to be dejected like you wouldn't believe if Mbuka is going to miss time here tonight. To cash that ticket, I'll be happy to cash the ticket.
I know.
But it's like nothing compared to what I have on Mbuka.
I know. You're okay. I think you're going to be okay. He only misses 2 games. Dart could get hurt. How many games are the Giants going to win? When Mbuka comes back, he's going to put up numbers. And you can't get there with Genty. Judkins, probably the guy that's going to get you is either Bill or Warren.
I made a bet on tonight's game. I just added it. One of the games in the NFL on the doubleheader. I'll tell you what it is coming up next.
This is Follow the Money on VSiN.
Doubleheader coming up tonight in Monday Night Football in Atlanta. Falcons hosting the Bills in the next half an hour or so. Here is the news that you need to know about this game. Bills tight end Dalton Kincaid, who was questionable for tonight's game, is out with an oblique. And Bills wide receiver Curtis Samuel, who scored the first touchdown of the game last week, Sunday Night Football against the Patriots, he's also out. No Kincaid, no Samuel. So could that mean we need to quickly make bets on Dawson Knox for the Bills? Well, hold on a second here, because both of these teams defensively are elite against tight ends. For the record, Buffalo has allowed only 11 catches at the position the entire year. Second fewest 2. Their opponent tonight. The Atlanta Falcons, I get it, they've only played 4 games, but they have allowed 8 catches to tight ends this year, 69 yards, no touchdowns. So they have been dominant, and they're also very good, the Falcons are, at defending running backs in the air.
Yes.
So I bet, well, I'll tell you more about my bets with James Cook coming up in about 15 minutes in pocket.
I like both favorites tonight. I think the Bills should win and should be ticked off after how poorly they played the Sunday night game. Careless, turnovers, silly penalties. Credit to the Patriots, but Bills also feel like they beat themselves. They should be revved up and ready to go tonight. Hard to believe. First home Monday night game for Atlanta in 8 years. But this is a game the Bills should win, that they're the class of the AFC. They should be able to move the ball in Atlanta. And I think we should have a high-scoring game here, maybe in both. I mean, look at the totals in both games. And from an Atlanta standpoint, what does Penix do? And can you move it with Milano out and the injuries with the Buffalo defense? if they have success throwing the ball, or is it all about Robinson, which that's what Morris keeps saying. We're a run-first team. We're all about Robinson. They got to get that game going with also Algier. But they're hard to figure out too, right? It was a good performance in the road win against Minnesota. Then you had the Carolina stinker. And then you look good and moved it against the Commanders, although they did play a backup quarterback.
Well, so, how high scoring are you talking here?
I absolutely think the touchdown field goal each half, both teams, is live at 20-1.
I bet.
I know you're
you're
surprised at the price. I think we could see in the 60s.
How about
that game?
Then how about
a team to score 40 points is 8-1.
How about both teams in this game score 30+ points?
Yeah.
You can definitely put together a parlay of that, like team totals over for both teams 29.5.
Yeah.
Or 30+, depends on how the book's going to offer that bet.
Yeah. I mean, if you see the fireworks here and all these guys go off and have big games, this is awesome. DraftKings did a great job tonight. You can bet most passing yards for both games combined. Who's going to have the most receiving tonight? The most rushing? Stuff like this at Caesars. Robinson and Cook to have 5 rushing yards in each quarter, plus 320. Robinson, Warren Sharp loves London. Robinson, London, and Cook to combine for 5 touchdowns, 11-1.
Oh, boy.
4 is 4-1. I think Pitt's going to have a day and go over 50 yards. The targets and receptions have been there so far. But some of this stuff is like, it doesn't seem that hard. It doesn't happen. Robinson, 10 yards each quarter, plus 230. 20 yards each quarter, 12-1. 25 receiving each half, plus 650. And 25 yards rushing each half, $1.25. Like he's got to be the bell cow and get a lot of the touches rushing and receiving tonight. And we'll see if he delivers. And so I think we could have a lot of points here. This one, apparently, the weather won't be as bad as we thought or was reported in terms of the precipitation or the wind. But I'm with Mike North on a couple things. It's a pivotal game and a huge game for the Bears, but I don't think they're on this level, which is a playoff level, and to go on the road and beat a good team like Washington. This is a contest play. This is also in pocket with the side, and also Washington next week against Dallas. Too good with the coaching staff, too good with Daniels, and even with guys out and McLaurin banged up. First things first, can you stop the run? Or does Krosky Merritt run all over you here, as you've been so bad with the run defense?
All right, so here's the bet that I made during the show. We talked about this with Mike North earlier in the hour. You can always go back and listen to the Follow the Money podcast. So to reiterate what Adam Burke wrote today on the website, vsin.com, in his 3 years as the OC with the Detroit Lions, Ben Johnson and the team had the first touchdown in 36 out of 55 games, including the first touchdown in 2023 and 2024 when the team was off the bye. So far this year, in the first quarter alone, the Chicago Bears have averaged 7.8 points per game. They're averaging more than a touchdown in the first quarter. The Commanders are averaging less than a field goal, 2.8 points per first quarter. Each team has allowed, on average, 6 points in the first quarter. I think off the bye here, I just have in my head what the Lions did to the Cowboys last year on the road after their early season bye. They went to Dallas and they embarrassed them. And they scored 47 points, and he was pulling out just some of the, it took me back to my childhood, why I fell in love with the sport. I'm like, oh, this is so cool, right? The designs were incredible. The execution was great. So I have faith based on his history here that he's going to come out tonight and break out some really, really high-level play calling. And so I took the Bears plus a half a point in the first quarter, minus 115. You can find, if you want to bet them on the money line, which I did not do, you can find as high as plus 145 for them just to win the first quarter. After that,
good angle.
Then all bets are off.
Mm-hmm. So you asked me how crazy it could get right in the first game. I think there's a lot of stuff that's in play here. Like to combine for 600 yards passing, the two quarterbacks. To combine for 550. Like Allen to throw a touchdown pass in every quarter. These are big prices.
Now
here.
you're really getting up there into big prices.
You think so?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, they are.
No, I'm saying you're going to
big.
find big prices doing that.
They are. And I think this could be reminiscent of that Thursday night game last year with Tampa and Atlanta, and Cousins went off. I think you could see a back and forth affair with these teams. And then, who do you think? What do you think with the Bears angle? if they're other than a Dunze, if you can target one guy specifically, or maybe you don't have the confidence in Williams.
No, it would be a Dunze.
It would be okay.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of him.
See, when you look at the stuff with the props where these guys are combined, it's a lot of Swift stuff, and that's where I can't. I don't want to do anything with Swift.
No, neither do I.
But maybe Moore could do something. 25 yards in each half is 4-1. Moore and Debo, 25 yards each half is 12-1. And Moore, Debo, and Bill to combine for 4+ touchdowns plus 750.
I'm trying to put together that 30-point parlay right now. For some reason, my computer won't scroll down, but I can find. Oh, it's the biggest number I can find on the Falcons team total. You can go over Buffalo's team total 29.5 and over the Falcons team total 27.5 at 5-1 on a same game parlay.
Okay.
But also, that's just like you can also just bet like over 59.5 with an alt number. It might be a better price.
Each team to have a rushing and passing touchdown in each half is 80-1. Each team to have 2 rushing and 2 passing touchdowns is 40. I mentioned the 20-1, which I bet. Each team to score in all 4 quarters, 12-1. 40+ points is 8-1. Each team to have a rushing and a passing touchdown plus 230. 2-point conversion, 3-1.
Well, they pulled my guy, by the way. I got to interrupt for a second here.
Did they take him out?
They pulled Yasevich, so he stayed under the K-prop, which is no good. And what happened? Jorge Polanco came in and just smoked a 3-run shot.
Oh, no.
6-3. And I don't even know what Polanco was to win the ALCS MVP. But man, oh man, is he the front runner right now.
Yeah.
Because last night he had 2 big RBIs in that game.
Did you see how far it was? He's 25-1 to hit the longest home run of the night.
What was Rodriguez?
Rodriguez was 10.
Well, do you know how far?
I didn't see the distance on Polanco's.
Okay. Rodriguez earlier was 370 feet. Polanco should be posted here at any time.
400.
There you go. He's the leader in the clubhouse by 30 feet so far. And
Killer. This is a killer. Oh, boy. To be down 0-2 with the first 2 games at home. Motto. Tough one.
Oh, boy. That was only out of 17 out of 30 ballparks.
Was it?
Yeah, but 400 feet exactly on the nuts. Good job, Luke.
8 days away. NBA tips off. Get our NBA betting guide. Little as $9.99 for your first month. Previews and power ratings on all 30 teams. Best bets and futures. Player props. Live betting strategies. Von Tobel's favorite title bets. Give yourself an edge this season. Get your copy of the VSiN NBA betting guide and get a full month of VSiN Pro, just $9.99. VSiN.com/subscribe. VSiN.com/subscribe. NBA in 8 days. Go get it.
My goodness. The number on Polanco to win the MVP here had to have been. I mean, with the star power that you're going to have in this series between Dumper, Vladdy, Julio, I'm guessing minimum 50-1 on him.
Yeah.
We'll recap the weekend that was with our in-pocket plays and tell you what we've added for tonight and this week next here on VSiN.
To determine the winner of any given college basketball game.
Someone gives you 10,000 to 1 on anything. You take it. Take it. Take it.
I'll bet you $20 I can get you gambling before the end of the day. No way. I'll give you 3-1 odds. Nope. 5-1. Nope. 10-1. You're on.
All right. Guys do a great job behind the glass. Sometimes it's hectic on a Friday. Stuff gets lost in translation. I hope my message was clear about how much I love Dowdle to go off against the Cowboys. And to me, until further notice, anytime touchdowns on Waller and how they use them. Broncos, Jets, both teams to make a 33-yard field goal winner. It was 50 for both. Boswell back. All right. Finally, some of the kicking props came in. Look for that every week, VSiN.com. Boswell over 1.5. Dicker over 1.5. They had a bunch. McLaughlin didn't get there. He missed one. I think he missed from 49, which shocked me. So that was no good. McMillan over 69.5. Had 2 touchdowns.
We talked about that yesterday, by the way.
Yep.
Cowboys allow so many touchdowns.
Right.
But,
Yep. And the breakdown, too, the creativity and imagination with Shanahan, plus how Tampa gives it up to the running backs. McCaffrey over receiving yards a winner. JSN ice cream. Ladder that sucker. He was 4-1 to have 120, 7-1 to have 160. And the AI props were awesome again with JSN and Darnold. Waller had the touchdown, but didn't get over the yards. He had a 30-yard catch, which was wiped away by a penalty. So that was tough. And then they got me here. I can't remember if we had talked about this on the Tailgate show. Every Sunday morning, the news came down. It was the Bam Knight was going to be the guy.
Yeah.
And not Carter. And Bam Knight got in there right away to 2-1. So they got me there with the late news with what Arizona did in the backfield. And again, I'm done. I'm done with Henderson. How many times does Stevenson have to fumble before they just say no more? Darnold over passing yards winner. Flacker over passing yards winner. Tough push with Alabama. Should have gone money line. And game 5, loser. Great job by the Mariners. Now the bats come alive. But to go 4-0 this year against Skubal, and you're right, the entertainment value and the drama and how good Friday night was, I didn't think it was going to end. You go 15 innings, all hands on deck, bring out every pitcher imaginable. No one could get that key hit, that big hit. And what Carpenter did to start, I believe in the 10th inning, Detroit had 5 hits. He had 4 of them.
Right.
And hit the big home run.
Well, that's why playoff baseball and playoff hockey can be so big, like low-scoring games, because every pitch is so big, and in hockey, every shot is potentially so big.
Yeah. I think they played that 1-0 game against the Astros they had at home in 18 innings. Going back a couple of years ago. Double shot on the Commanders. Tonight, in pocket and contest play, 5.5. And then next week, Sunday at Dallas, laying 2.5. Love the coaching staff, the quarterback, and the organization. I think they get it done, and the Bears are not ready for prime time. That's the pending. Tonight, and mixed in with some college. I'm going to take Louisville plus 13.5 against Miami on Friday night. Crazy college football schedule. We got 3 games tomorrow, some more Wednesday, and some good games on Friday. Here's one of them. UNLV, Boise, no, over. That's over. UNLV, Boise, over, 64.5. It's UNLV, you couldn't stop Air Force, and Boise got what they wanted against New Mexico. So it's a huge game for the Rebels as well. I don't think there's a loss after this. I don't know how good they are, but their toughest remaining game, if they can go to the Smurf turf and win, is probably Colorado State. Bijan over rushing and receiving yards. Zach Cohen put me on this. Good breakdown at vsin.com with all his props on the doubleheader. Blake Snell over 3.5 hits allowed, 3.5. Milwaukee #1 average this year against lefties. And pizza money, sprinkle. I'm going to go Shakir and Pitts. First touchdown of the game, 15 and 16-1. Let's have some fun tonight. Great job by the sports books with all the props and the creativity. And Will Hill Caesars has over 200 props on both games tonight on the app.
Go get him, Pauly. Mixed weekend here, mixed results. The teaser came in. Denver, Rams, Colts, all -1.5, plus 160.
Problem. Easy money.
On Friday night, yeah, go ahead.
I had the same thing. I was going to lose my mind if the Broncos lost that game. It's like you can't believe what you're watching. The Jets have 30 yards in the first half, 80 yards for the game, and they could have won.
It was all special teams and boneheaded plays by Denver that kept them in the game the entire time. Tell you what, the Broncos offense scares me in a really bad way. Not in a good way, in a bad way.
I'm with you.
George Kirby on Friday went over 5.5 Ks. JSN over the receiving yards. Man, the guy is just incredible so far.
Got to ladder him, too.
Yeah.
Have to ladder him.
McCaffrey stayed under. That's the angle against the Buccaneers. They just are so good at limiting lead back, so that stayed under 60.5 yards rushing. The losers, Ferguson, just wasn't there yesterday. And the Panthers are terrible against tight ends. Did a good job on him yesterday. Kudos to Jalen Warren because he only had, I think, 11 carries and went over 48.5 yards. He was getting good attempts every time he rushed the ball against a very good Cleveland rush defense. So that was a loser. Both college plays lost. I was on the wrong dog, vice versa. Oregon, totally wrong side.
Yeah.
Indiana should have defeated them by way more than what they did. And Florida, they were live in the game for most of it, but then just couldn't keep up with Texas A&M late, and they could not cover the 7.5.
How about this? I had this too. I couldn't believe it last night.
Yeah, Thornton, 19.5. That closed around 30, by the way. Always fun. Always fun to have 11 yards of CLV with a prop. Not one target last night. Not one. After he was such a big part of the offense in previous weeks. But they got the job done anyway, so that was a loser. Onward and upward. Yes, Savage. Not so Savage today. He got roughed up early on. He was robbed, by the way. The first at bat to Rosarina. That was a strikeout.
Yep.
Rosarina was walking back to the dugout. No, hold on. That's a walk.
I can't wait for next year.
No, neither can I.
These umpires are so bad.
So that's a loser. Bad way to start the day. I am on James Cook, under 2.5 receptions. Atlanta's very good at defending running backs in the air. But also, this was a numbers play. Because at one of the sharpest offshore books when I bet this, the under was minus 135. Here, minus 110 when I bet it. And then told you about this in the last segment. We'll expand on this in the primetime show. Bears first quarter, that's plus a half. Bears first quarter plus a half a point is minus 115. So if it's 0-0, 3-3, 7-7, whatever it is, that's still a winner. You can find as high as plus 145 on the money line for the Bears in the first quarter in the game tonight. A lot to like with Ben Johnson in the spot, I think.
All right. Good luck, my man. Get it? One of the best times of year to be a bettor. We got 49 days in a row of football, ALCS, NLCS, 5-day games in hockey. Jonathan Davis, all of his picks every day, vsin.com with the write-ups. NBA starts next week. Every best bet, every host, every guest. The Meat Man had a winner today. That Wales-Belgium match went over. The betting splits, the AI-powered prop tools, the replays, the 24/7 video on the Watch app, and the college basketball guide coming soon. Start betting smarter today, just $9.99 or save 50% with an annual plan. vsin.com/subscribe. The content will blow you away. Awesome. Get up there. Make some money. vsin.com/subscribe.
At DraftKings, Jorge Polanco is now plus 175 to win the ALCS MVP. Cal Raleigh is plus 350. He homered in the first game. And Julio, who has a 3-run shot in this game, is 5-1.
How surprised were you with the Franklin news? $50 million buyout.
Well, again, as we've been saying on the show for years now, what are they doing with these buyouts? Why are they putting him in the contract?
Yeah, like that guy had leverage. I know. So they gave him no credit for beating SMU in Boise last year. And the AD said it today. Every time we play a top opponent, we lose. And then what happened in the last 2 weeks, it never happened before.
No, it's all true.
Now, I can't believe the list, though. And when you see some of the odds, like Matt Rule, Manny Diaz, Bill O'Brien. To me, it's a first call Signetti. And just make them say no. And you keep going back at them with more money. But this is fascinating about your Penn State. You can go to the NFL, you can get some big-time coaches, but, this will be interesting to see what they do and who the next guy is.
You know what Signetti could say? Without saying that part, but he could basically in his head think, I have all the leverage in the world. You just paid this guy a $50 million buyout. I am going to be able to get whatever job I want and probably name my price. So if you want me to leave Indiana, you're going to have to give me $15, $17, $18 million a year. You can do whatever you want.
His stock is higher than DeBoer after going to the title game with Washington, I think, because of where Indiana was at. Wait, what was the 1-72 all time against top 5 opponents?
Yeah, had not defeated one.
And he goes to the playoff, and now he beats Oregon?
Yeah, Matt Rule 3-1.
Manny Diaz, and not just the odds. The first couple articles I read, he's top 4 on the list about possible candidates.
Urban Meyer would turn them into a powerhouse, even more so right now. But how long is he going to coach? 2 years?
That's not happening.
Maybe. All right, we're going to hang out for another half an hour. Get you set for the Monday Night Football doubleheader with Murray and Humans here on VSiN Primetime next.